All right, let's get to it. So you want to take the cover off, pull this filter out. We're going to clean these later. Then there's 4 screws. There's 2 that are 5/16. There's one right there. It's kind of hidden. You can't really see it. Oh, there it just fell out. And then there's a second 5/16 right there. Right there. Let's put those on the bench so we don't lose them. And then there's 2 smaller ones, guys. They are 9/32. There's one right there. And there's one just underneath. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Right there. Okay. Next up, you just want to kind of pull this off gently. There's a pipe connected on the back side right there. See that pipe? It connects to there. It just kind of clips together. You got to reach in behind and push that back on when you're done. But for now, that's how you take it apart. Fuel line pinchers. I'll put a link to those down below so you can buy them. These particular ones are fantastic. I've tried the other style and I don't like them. That one. So clamp your fuel line so it doesn't pour fuel. We're going to drain this tank, but we want to clamp it when we do this so that we don't pour fuel out all over our workspace. Now there's a little clamp down under there. You just use your pliers to pull the clamp back like that. Okay, and then what we want to do is kind of grab onto this and kind of give it a little jiggle and pull at the same time. And it'll, oh, that was an easy one. Usually they put up a little more fight than that. It'll pop off like that. It's just being hung on by the intake manifold there. And now kind of at the same time as pulling it out, you want to just grab this fuel line right here and you want to sort of twist it off without breaking anything. Remember, this is plastic, so you can't go crazy on it. But like that, and then pull the carburetor out, turn it 90 degrees because you got a little Z bend right here, and pop it out like that. All right, so there's the beast right there. Now this one's kind of filthy, so I'm just gonna blow it off with some air. Yeah, that's a little better. Now we want to get into this bowl here, and it uses the, I think it's the 932s. 1, 2, and then you got to kind of sometimes pry these off gently, of course. Comes off like that. Now you always want to look in there and see what you find. This one looks pretty clean. I don't really see too much in there that is questionable. We'll give that a quick rinse out with some carb cleaner, brake clean. And then here's your float, guys. And then this device here is called the cassette. Now, usually the problem when your machine won't run or starts and dies or runs rough or surges or does any of those things, this here is the issue. This is called, like I said before, the cassette. And what you want to do is just pull this cassette out. Now you got to kind of be gentle. Like this is all plastic, so you kind of want to grab it maybe gently. Come on, baby. No. Oh, that'll sometimes fall out, guys. That just sits on the side there. Doesn't really do too much. So if that happens to you, that's where it sits. Okay, good. The float came out. The needle came out. We want those out. Now again, we're going to try to pry this out without breaking it. There it is. So this here is called your cassette. And there's 2 orifices. There's one right there. Little, you see that sort of that brass or copper jet, and there's another one right there. And usually one or the other of these is blocked, or it's half blocked. And what I like to do to clean these out is if you've got a welding tip cleaner, this kind of a thing right here, I'll put a link to them down below in the description. Take one of the smallest ones, and it's a little tiny file, guys, and just take it and give the jet just kind of a little, oops, just kind of give it a little ream out like that. Kind of just scrape it as best you can. And the same thing for the one up here. Just kind of get that in there and just kind of give it a little how's she doing, just like that. Pardon my mess of hands. I've been working non-stop like crazy on equipment for the last few weeks, like literally every day, all day. It's been bonkers. I don't know why, but anyway. So yeah, so you just give those a little bit of a clean up, and then we're just gonna grab some brake clean. Just kind of give her the old rinse, and then take an air gun, take your compressed air, and just blast out those orifices. Pretty good like that. And then, you know, put it somewhere where it's not going to get dirty on your bench. Same thing, give this a rinse with some brake clean. brake clean, carb clean. Give it a blow. All right, that's looking good. Here, let's just put that inside there so we keep it clean. Same thing with your float. It's got a little bit of dirt on it from my bench, so I'm just gonna give that a quick rinse with the brake clean. Blow. All right, there goes the compressor, and then we've got our little pin, and then there's a little needle. This is your float needle. I like to just give them a little spin while holding the rubber. Just kind of give the rubber a little rub and the sides of the body. You don't have to get too crazy cleaning these on. It's pretty clean, but unless it's a real disaster, just clean it and reuse it. And then this guy here, there's not a whole lot going on. Like I said, just give it a rinse, and then take your air and just blow some air through all the different spots, just to get some air through it. There you go. Okay, so now we're going to put this back together. So you take this guy. You notice how one side is higher than the other, and there's an O-ring on the shorter one. If you look down inside there, you can see that one side is higher than the other side and where the O-ring would sit. So in this case, it goes this way, like that, and snap it in, just like that. And then we take our needle, and our float, and we hang the needle in like that, and we drop it into the carb like that there, and then we take our little pin and we put the pin through like that. Now this pin snaps into the holder. Some of them on the other carbs, they go through a hole, but this one you just like that. There's your float. Works good. Now when you put this back on, guys, be careful, because you can put this on backwards and you can end up cracking it. I did it once way back in the beginning. There's a little depression inside where this sits, so what you need to do is put it on. See, it doesn't want to go. It kind of stops, and if you start screwing it together, you'll end up breaking the bowl. So you need to flip this 180 degrees so it fits together like that. It should be pretty obvious, but if you've never done it before, do it like I just showed you, because you'll break it and then you got to go to the parts store and buy one of these, and that sucks. So then you take your two, what was it, the 932s, tighten them up, and we should have a clean and ready to run carburetor. All right, so we're back. While we were doing that carb, I let the bowl drain out, and actually the fuel looks pretty good. I don't like reusing fuel at all, but you know, these days that's like almost $3 worth of gas, but I know $3 isn't worth my headache of doing this job a second time. So we just pour it off, and then we put it in a collection thing, and someone comes and gets it, and they turn it into heating oil, fuel, I don't know, whatever they do with it. They take it away, and it's free, and I like free. Now guys, when you put this carb back on, don't miss this step. This is very important. There's an O-ring that goes inside of this, and then there's a little white plastic clip, and here, let me get the flashlight. You can see that the O-ring and the clip is stuck on that intake manifold pipe. If you don't pull these off, I made a video about this actually, just on this subject. If you don't pull these off and reinstall them like that, this thing won't run right, and you'll tear your frickin' hair out wondering why. There you go. It doesn't run right. So make sure you check that and you do that, because if you don't, you're not going to be happy. All right, and then we just basically put it back together. So we want to hook that on there. It'll kind of guide itself back on as you push the right there. And then we're going to take our actually, what we should do before we do that, we should just put a little air pressure on this tank, to blow out the leftover gas. Oh, look at that, guys. There's like leaves and hedge clippings and stuff flying out of there. Yep. All right. Much better. Now let's throw that cap on so we don't lose it. And now we're going to take our fuel line and we're going to reconnect it to the spigot, or not the spigot, the barb, should I say. Right there, like that. And then there's a little clamp. You'll see it when you do it. Just put the little clamp right back on. I can show that to you. Let's see if you can see it. Right there. There's your clamp. There's your barb. Carb's back in its spot. So now we are going to put that little airbox cover back on. This sometimes can be tricky, especially when you're trying to get this pipe back onto that pipe without with it falling off. So what I like to do is put my hand in behind and line them up and just kind of find the spot where it wants to sit right there. And then we got 2 of our 9/32, which are this one. Oops. That one there, and the one on the bottom. Right there. And then we got the 2 5/16, which is right there. And right there. All right, and you see there's a bit of dirt on there, so I like to always just take a little of this, just a little of that, and then a little of this, just like that. And the same thing over here, guys. The cap is kind of dirty, so give it a little of that, and give it a little of this. Better. And then I always take my filters that I got and I take them over there and I wash them in the sink with some citrus cleaner. Okay, so she's clean with some citrus cleaner. It ain't perfect. As long as it's not falling apart, you can wash it and reuse it. When they get old, they start to kind of crumble and fall apart, so you don't want to do that. But then you put that back in and you put this little cover, put this little cover back on like that. So now we're going to throw a little fresh gas into this baby. I like to use the Chevron Supreme Plus in all of these. It just seems to work the best. So we'll throw in a couple cups, enough to get her going. Just like that. And then we will see if this thing will sing the song of its people. Oops, I just pulled the camera out of the mount. All right, we're gonna give her a try. 1, 2, 3. Ready, Freddie? Yeah, she runs good. Okay, that's how to do a carb on one of these. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. I've got lots of videos about stuff like this.